Now let's see what are the troubles our narrator had to face in his life as a result of winning the road engine as his prize. We shall move on to the next paragraph. When the showman took down his boots and packed up, I received a notice from the municipality to attend to my road engine. When I went there the next day, it looked forlorn with no one about. The showman had moved on, leaving the engine where it stood. It was perfectly safe anywhere. So the showman had left the place at the end of his season. He packed up everything. He took down his boots as well. He left the road engine on the same place, that is on the Gymkhana grounds. On the next day, when our narrator went to the Gymkhana grounds looked so forlorn. Forlorn means very sad and unhappy. Why? Because there was no one about. You know that Gymkhana grounds was very lively with full of fun and sideshows. But the road engine was very safe on Gymkhana grounds. I left it alone for a few days, not knowing what to do with it. I received a notice from the municipality ordering that the engine should at once be removed from the ground, as otherwise they would charge rent for the occupation of the Gymkhana grounds. After deep thought, I consented to pay the rent, and I paid 10 rupees a month for the next 3 months. Dear sirs, I was a poor man. Even the house which I and my wife occupied cost me only 4 rupees a month. So after a few days, he got a notice from the municipality saying that he has to move the road engine from the Gymkhana grounds. Otherwise, he would be charged rent for occupying the Gymkhana grounds. So after a deep thought, the narrator consented to pay the rent because he didn't have any other place to park this road engine. He paid 10 rupees for a month, and in total he paid 30 rupees for the next 3 months. He also tried to convince the municipality that he was a very poor person. Even the house he and his wife live cost only 4 rupees a month. And fancy my paying 10 rupees a month for the road engine. It cut into my slender budget, and I had to pledge a jewel or two belonging to my wife. And every day my wife was asking me what I proposed to do with this terrible property of mine, and I had no answer to give her. I went up and down the town offering it for sale to all and sundry. Someone suggested that the secretary of the local cosmopolitan club might be interested in it. When I approached him, he laughed and asked what he should do with the road engine. We know that our narrator was in a very terrible financial situation. So paying the rent for the road engine had really cut his budget. It cut into a slender budget. That means he had to limit his budget, and also he had to pledge some jewel of his wife. With this, wife also got irritated because he was paying the money for the road engine, right? So wife asked him what he was supposed to do with this terrible property, and the narrator didn't have any answer to give her. Finally, he decided to sell this road engine, so he went to the town and offered it for sale, but no one was interested in it. It was at that time someone suggested that the secretary of the local cosmopolitan club must be interested in it. But when he approached the secretary, he laughed at the narrator and asked what he should do with it. I'll dispose of it at a concession for you. You have a tennis court to be rolled every morning. I began, and even before I saw him smile, I knew it was a stupid thing to say. The narrator told the secretary that he would give the road engine at a concession for him, and he had a tennis court to be rolled every morning, so he could use a road engine for that purpose. But before completing the dialogue, he himself realized that it was a stupid thing to say, so he stopped. I was making myself bankrupt maintaining this engine in the Gymkhana grounds. I really hoped someday there would come my way a lump sum and make amends for all this deficit and suffering. Fresh complications arose when a cattle show came in the offing. It was to be held on the grounds. I was given 24 hours for getting the thing out of the ground. The narrator went himself bankrupt because he was paying every month 10 rupees, isn't it? So he didn't have enough money to pay. Still, somehow he struggled to pay the money, and he really hoped that one day he would get a lump sum of amount. Lump sum means a huge amount, and that would compensate all his shortage and suffering. Amends means compensate. It would compensate all this deficit. Deficit means shortage and suffering. But it was at that time he got a notice from the municipality saying that he has to remove the road engine within 24 hours as the cattle show is going to happen in the offing. Offing means likely to happen soon. I became desperate. There was not a single person for 50 miles around who knew anything about a road engine. Meanwhile, the municipality was pressing me to clear out. I thought it over. I saw the priest of the local temple and managed to gain his sympathy. He offered me the services of his temple elephant. So after receiving the warning from the municipality, he became very desperate because he didn't know a single person nearby who could operate this road engine. And also he was getting tremendous pressure from the municipality asking him to clear out. So finally he decided to see the priest of the local temple, and somehow he convinced the priest about his dilemma or his problem, and the priest felt sympathetic towards the narrator and offered the service of his temple elephant. I also engaged 50 coolies to push the engine from behind. You may be sure this drained all my resources. The coolies wanted 8 annas per head, and the temple elephant cost me 7 rupees a day, and I had to give it 1 feed. My plan was to take the engine out of the gymkhana and then down the road to a field half a furlong off. The field was owned by a friend. He would not mind if I kept the engine there for a couple of months when I go to Madras and find a customer for it. We know that the priest had agreed to give temple elephant for the service. Other than that, he also engaged 50 coolies. Coolies means they are the people who carry heavy loads. So he engaged 50 coolies to push the engine from behind, because just an elephant is not enough to move the road engine from the gymkhana grounds, isn't it? So he engaged 50 coolies and he had to pay 8 annas per head. Along with that, he had to pay 7 rupees for a day for the elephant and also 1 feed for the elephant. So we can imagine how much money he had to pay to move the road engine from the gymkhana grounds, and it drained all his resources. He ended up in a very bad financial situation. But still he was very much relaxed. But still he had a hope. At least he could move the road engine to a field which was owned by his friend. His friend had agreed to or allowed to keep the road engine for a couple of months so that he could go to Madras and find a customer for it. I also took into service one Joseph, a dismissed bus driver, who said that although he knew nothing of road rollers, he could nevertheless steer one if it was somehow kept in motion. Now, to move the road engine, a driver is also required, isn't it? So the narrator appointed a dismissed bus driver named Joseph. What do you mean by a dismissed bus driver? The driver must be the one who was terminated from his job as he had done fault, isn't it? Still, the narrator assigned him as he could not find anyone else to steer the road roller. But Joseph had already told him that he knew nothing about the road roller. Nevertheless, which means that in spite of that, he could steer one if it was kept in motion. It was a fine sight. The temple elephant yoked to the engine by means of stout ropes, with 50 determined men pushing it from behind, and my friend Joseph sitting in the driving seat. A huge crowd stood around and watched in great glee. The engine began to move. It seemed to me the greatest moment in my life. So it was a pleasing sight for the narrator. Why? Because he was able to move the road engine finally. The temple elephant was yoked to the engine. Yoked means the temple elephant was attached to the engine with a stout rope. Stout rope means thick rope with 50 determined men pushing it from behind. The writer has used the adjective determined, which means that these coolies, they have a very firm decision that somehow they will move the road engine by pushing it from behind. And also Joseph in the driving seat. There was a huge crowd who was watching this sight with great glee. Glee means with great joy. Finally, the engine began to move. And the narrator refers this moment as the greatest moment in his life. Why? Because he was able to move the road engine from the Gymkhana grounds, and also he hoped that all his financial problems would be solved with this. When it came out of the Gymkhana and reached the road, it began to behave in a strange manner. Instead of going straight down the road, it showed a tendency to wobble and move zigzag. The elephant dragged it in one way. Joseph turned the wheel for all he was worth without any idea of where he was going, and 50 men behind it clung to it in every possible manner and pushed it just where they liked. As a result of all this confused dragging, the engine ran straight into the opposite compound wall and reduced a good length of it to powder. At this, the crowd let out a joyous yell. Now, when it reached from the Gymkhana ground to the road, it began to behave in a very strange manner. It began to wobble. Wobble means it began to move unsteadily in a zigzag way. The elephant carried it in one way. Dragged it in one way means carried it in one way. Joseph turned the wheel with all his effort without knowing to which direction he has to steer it. And the 50 men who was pushing from behind clung to it, which means they were holding it tightly in every possible manner and pushed it just where they liked. Now, as a result of all these confused dragging, the engine went straight to the opposite compound wall and reduced good length of it to a powder. Seeing this, the crowd who was watching this, they let out a joyous yell, which means that they shouted as if they were in victory. The elephant, disliking the behavior of the crowd, trumpeted loudly, strained and snapped its ropes, and kicked down a further length of the wall. The 50 men fled in panic. The crowd created a pandemonium. Someone slapped me in the face. It was the owner of the compound wall. The police came on scene and marched me off. Now, with a joyous yell by the crowd, the elephant disliked the behavior of the crowd and it trumpeted loudly. It pulled the rope and snapped it and also kicked down the further length of the compound wall. With this scene, the 50 men who were pushing the road engine from behind, they fled in panic, which means they ran away in terror, and the crowd created a pandemonium. Pandemonium means chaos. The crowd created big chaos with a lot of noise running here and there. It was at that time a person came in and slapped at our narrator's face. Who was that? Yes, it was the owner of the compound wall. Finally, the police reached the place and arrested our narrator. When I read this, what came to my mind is the scene in the Malayalam movie Vellanagalde Nadu, which was starred by the superstar Mohanlal and Kudrattan Pappu. Mohanlal is a contractor in that movie and he gets a road roller from the municipality. With great joy, he started to dream that all his financial problems would be solved soon and he would become rich. But he couldn't find the right person to steer the road engine and finally gets Kudratam Pappu as the driver. Pappu pretends as if he is an expert, but he didn't know anything about the road roller, and the same scene happens in the movie. But in the movie, there is a slight difference in the scene. It was Mohanlal who slapped at Pappu, which means that the owner of the road engine was the one who slapped at the driver's face. But here it is different, right? I think the movie scene was the visualization of this extract of our story. Now let's see what are the consequences he has to face as a result of destroying the compound wall and all the chaos that had happened.